what is going on, and welcome back to What Shall We Do Next. I'm Mike, your host, and I hope you guys are having the best day ever. Before I get started, guys, if you are new here, please subscribe if you haven't already done that. We're on the road to 76,000 subscribers. We just hit 75, so thank you guys so much for that. So if you guys are new here, hit subscribe and join the fam. And also, guys, go follow me on all my social media. Links are in the description. I have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and even Snapchat, so go follow me on all of those. And if you guys enjoy this video, please hit that like button down below. It shows me so much support, and it really helps me out. And as you guys know, I recently started a Facebook account, so you can add me on Facebook, and we can be Facebook friends, so go do that. Link is in the description. And finally, be sure to turn on the notification bell right next to the subscribe button. That way you get notified every time I upload a video. Thank you. But once again, I am coming back at you guys with another creepy video, and today we are talking about another scary story. And this scary story is called... Ow, my ear just popped. I think I got a little too excited there. This scary story is called... The Furry Collar. So, the story of the Furry Collar is a scary urban legend about two girls named Julia and Geraldine. Jelia and Juladine, that's what I'm gonna call them for this story. No, I'm not really gonna do that because that'll just kill the mood. But it's about these two girls who are having a sleepover. You know what that means. Pillow fight! Anywho, before I get too excited, let's just jump right over to the story. The Furry Collar. Julia and Geraldine were best friends, but they had very different personalities. Julia was brave and fearless, while Geraldine was shy and frightened of everything. It was Halloween night, and the girls were having a sleepover at Geraldine's house because her parents were out of town. In fact, every time Geraldine's parents went out of town, they had a sleepover, because Geraldine was nervous about sleeping in the house alone, even though she knew there was nothing to be afraid of. It was a big, gloomy house set way back from the road. When Julia arrived and rang the doorbell, Geraldine answered the door and ushered her inside. The girls changed into their nighties. Julia was wearing a beautiful silk nightgown, and it was blood red and had a furry collar. Geraldine thought it was gorgeous and wished she had such a beautiful nightgown. The girls made some popcorn and settled down on the sofa to watch a scary movie. When it was over, Julia was tired and Geraldine was a bit scared, so they decided to turn off the TV and go to bed. As they walked up the stairs, they got the strangest feeling that something was following them. They ran upstairs and slammed the bedroom door. Then they laughed at each other for being so silly. It was shortly after midnight, and the two girls were lying in bed, chatting. All of a sudden, they heard a faint noise from down below. It sounded like something was moving around down there. They stopped talking to each other and looked at each other, wide-eyed. There was an uneasy silence. Then, they heard the noise again. It sounded like fingers scraping down a chalkboard. Julia sat up in bed, listening intently. Geraldine hid her head under her covers. It's only a cat, Julia whispered. I'm gonna go down to see. Don't, Geraldine begged. Please don't leave me. Julia. Don't be so childish, Julia snapped. Whenever anything fun happens, you get the shivers down your spine. Please, Geraldine whined. "If you're so frightened, I'll lock the door from the outside and take the key with me," Julia assured her. "That way no one can get in. I hope it's a burglar. I'll give him the fright of his life." Julia got out of bed and felt her way to the door in the darkness. She slipped out into the hallway and quietly closed the door behind her. Geraldine listened carefully as she turned the key in the lock. She heard Julia's soft footsteps going down the stairs. Then she heard the noise again. It sounded like a knife being sharpened. Geraldine lay there in the darkness with the bedclothes over her head. She was sick with fear and trying to be as quiet as a mouse. All she could hear was the very stillness of the house. She wanted to call out Julia's name, but she didn't dare. Geraldine waited for what seemed like an eternity. After a long silence, she heard the noise again. It seemed to be moving now, coming up the stairs, getting louder and louder. Then it stopped. Geraldine thought she heard someone standing on the other side of the door. She heard the key turn in the lock, and the door creaked open. "Julia?" she asked. "Julia, is that you?" She couldn't see a thing in the darkness, so she reached out with both hands. She reached out and felt a soft silk nightgown. Then Geraldine reached up higher, and to her relief, she felt the furry collar. It must be Julia, she thought. But when she reached higher again, she felt something wet and warm. There was nothing there. Nothing but a bloody stump where her friend's head had once been. Early the next morning, when Geraldine's mother and father returned home, they were shocked by what they found. Inside the front door, there was a large pool of blood, and a trail of blood drops led up the stairs. The frantic parents rushed upstairs, following the trail of blood that led to their daughter's room. When they opened the door, the poor couple stood there, appalled at the loathsome sight that met their eyes. Julia's headless body was stretched out on the floor. They found Geraldine hiding in the closet. Her hair had gone white, and she was babbling and raving like a lunatic. She had gone completely insane. Later that day, the police found a confused man wandering around the countryside. He was dressed in a white hospital gown, and he had blood all over him. In his hand, he was clutching a bloody knife. It turned out that he was a homicidal lunatic, and just the night before, he had escaped from the local insane asylum. Ironically, it was the very same insane asylum where Geraldine would spend the rest of her life.
And that is the end of that. I hope you guys enjoyed this story. Very disturbing, very creepy. Kind of makes me not want to go on a sleepover ever again. But my question to all of you guys for question of the day is, have you ever had a sleepover with your friends, and what is the scariest experience you had while doing that? Like, because we all, you know, when you're on a sleepover, you tell scary stories. You make up scary things like that. Let me know what your scary experience sleepover was. That is question of the day. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, slap a like on it. Let's see if we can go for 88 billion likes on this video. I would really appreciate that. And remember the most important thing of all, guys, chase your dreams. I love you all. Don't let anybody bring you down. Peace out.